Weeds in the flowers, birds in the trees, nature's beauty in things like these. Rivers and mountains, valleys so wide, stars in the heavens, deep blue they are. Everyday artists, the old and the new, color each day a bright golden hue. Now that we know you, our story begins. Come and be with us, artists and friends. Da-da-da-da-dum, da-da-da-dum.
You know, one of the things that I love best is to draw a tree. And I was talking to school artists about drawing trees, and one school artist said, no lollipop trees. Well, by that, you know, the circle and the trunk. But that really is the symbol of a tree. So very often you see it. You know, as many artists as I know, every one of them has a different kind of tree. Look at this tree, and it shows the roots of the tree. Now, an older artist drew this one, but that certainly is a beautiful tree, right? But so many trees are round at the top, like an apple tree, in the trunk, and Lydia Jo sent me this one, and I think it's very nice. Now, this artist shows how different a pine tree looks from a tree with a lot of foliage. And of course, not many of us have been on South Sea Islands, but the trees down there are quite different. Now, this one shows how the branches grow. And maybe, here's another palm tree. Not many of us see them, but sure would be fun to be there right now. Do you know every artist is different, and every artist draws trees different? But we can all improve on our trees, and sometimes we're not happy with the way our trees look. So I had some school artists try this the other day. We started by saying, draw a tree the way you usually do. So Melanie drew this tree, and it's kind of a round ball at the top and comes down, the trunk comes down. Then she looked out the window, and she could see that the tree happened to be bare, and she could see the branches. So she changed her drawing a little bit. Let's look at another one. This one drew this kind of tree, looked out the window, and this everyday artist saw a different type tree, so she drew this one. But I want to show you Steve's. Now, he drew this kind of a lollipop-looking tree. Then he looked out, and he really looked at the tree, and I think he did a great job on this one. Perhaps you will be able to even go outside. So just in case you want to go outside, this is what you need. Get some cardboard or masonite, and you need it because it would be something heavy to draw on. Put your paper on it. The wind will blow, so you'll need a clothespin. And if you don't have clothespins, look, you might do this. Just tape it at the top. And then, of course, you need a nice black pencil. It can be your charcoal pencil. You might even use your black crayon. That's pretty good. Or just a big pencil like you use in the classroom. You know, it would really be nice if you could go out, if the weather is nice, if you could go outside like these second grade students were able to do. In fact, it was my privilege to go out with them. And the way we worked it, two children carried most of the supplies. We went outside before we before we took out our supplies. Look, it's nice and warm, and the whole idea of going outside is to see a tree so you can really see them. So get your materials, look around, and find a good, comfortable place. I hope it's warm enough, as it was this time. I hope it's warm enough for you to go out and you be able to sit right on the ground. Remember to draw that foreground in, then look at the tree and start sketching. There is a pine tree. See how much it would help you if you could look right at that tree as you sketched. One problem, the wind does have a way of blowing. See this tree? Oh, look at all the branches. They go way up and they spread out. And of course you can't draw every single one in. But this gives you an idea of the general shape, just as this artist has done it. Now you can see how well they drew. This will show you, it's kind of one nice thing, besides seeing trees, you see other things to add to your pictures. Maybe you see some classmate of yours there. These are all second grade students. Sometimes the position you get in when you're outside is really something. I know you would like to see some more of their work, so I have them here in the folder. So let's look at some others that went out on that sketch trip. There is not only a tree, but a man in a house. Let's look at Bridget's. She has a bird in a tree, and she shows the trunk, and she shows texture, and the clouds. Look at Cindy's. Cindy saw a kind of a roundish tree, and then one that was not shaped round at all. Let's see what Gino did. Not only trees and houses, but a birdhouse and an airplane. And I think he's showing the wind in the sky. Let's look at John Peel's. Now he looked at that pine tree, and he could see there was a bird feeder there, or was it a birdhouse inside that tree? So he added it. Look at this drawing. Perhaps you saw the artist doing that one. Let's look at Daisy's. These are all done with charcoal, showing the trunk and showing the branches. And I see a few little buds coming in on that one. Mary Ann Roy shows her trunk, how well it tapers. And this one, we have some birds. And then I think that birdhouse really did appeal to a lot of people. So you see, they really improved after they went outside and they started drawing trees. Now, what will you do to get ready? Well, first of all, let's talk about trees a little bit. And I want to point out kind of a simple fact that especially a big oak tree looks kind of like a lollipop. And we'll draw that round circle just to give you an idea. That really is the basic symbol. Now, I want you to be sure and remember to put the ground before you add the trunk, so you show the foreground of your picture. Now the trunk comes up out of the ground, the roots are right down there, and the trunk will gradually go in. It will taper in a little bit. And I've found that if you draw in sort of the roots and put a little grass right there, that shows that the tree is coming out of the ground right away. Now, remember, this round shape is kind of the basic shape of the whole tree. Now, the branches will be coming out of the tree, not only just on the sides, as I'm showing here, and the branch will be large as it comes out of the trunk and gradually get smaller, but sometimes the branches will come right. This would show that it's coming towards the front, and it might show that it bends. Particularly oak trees have a way of twisting and turning, but that same branch will, particularly the lower ones, come way out. And let's take one over here. And they're not exactly the same. They vary quite a bit. You need variety when you're drawing your tree. And remembering that the branches get smaller, and as I said before, sometimes you just can't add all the twigs, but add enough to make it interesting. Then, getting smaller, and you can show that it shades as it goes. Now I'm bringing branches way, way out, and sometimes they separate, and sometimes even the trunk will separate, and it'll go that way and then up this way. So to make your tree interesting, you want to do all of these different things. Now I'm drawing with a charcoal pencil, and it's nice and black, and it shows the twigs, and as you can see the line. Next time you might leave off the circle and just remember that basic shape. Now if you do draw with charcoal, bring it in and add some spray to it. I even use hairspray. And of course, that's just the tree. I hope you'll add some background color. Then, a little bit later, maybe the next day, you might add the foliage. See, you might go out before the tree has foliage. Then, after it gets some foliage, use your paints, your watercolors or your tempera. Fill it in, but remember, there still should be some sky holes in your tree, some spaces where the birds can fly through. And you know what I always use with my yellow paint? I mean my green paint. I always put a little yellow on the top because the light will hit the top of the tree. Then you might put it, fill in the grass, and maybe remembering to make the grass grow up. So I hope this will help you when you start to draw trees. I hope that this will be helpful. You know, I remember about Rip, renting out his house to Salvador Dili, and Salvador Dili is painting a mural on the wall. I think it might be a good idea to see if he's finished. Let's see if he's here.
Oh, hello, Miss Polly.
Hello, Mr. Dili.
Oh, no, not Mr. Dilly. I am Salvador. You call me Salvador now, okay?
Oh, yes. Hey, how are you doing on the mural?
The mural. The mural is all but finished now, Miss Polly. I just need to do a little bit of work on it, and I want you to see it. I'm sure Rip is going to like it very much. It's almost ready for the unveiling.
Oh, the unveiling?
Yes. I'm going to give you a sneak preview, since you are such a close friend of Rip's, And now, I wish that you would shut your eyes.
Okay.
Now, keep them closed until we get inside.
Okay. I get a sneak preview.
Keep them closed. And here you have it, the finished mural. It's a beautiful country scene with barns and cows and a pasture, a nice big pasture. Chickens here, and even for Rip here, I have included a briar patch. I call it Rip's briar patch, Miss Polly.
It is a beautiful painting. I love the sky, I love the hills, I love the cows and the chickens, and the everyday artist will love the way you've painted your tree.
Thank you very much. Also, someone you might recognize I have included in this painting. He's right here.
Oh, of course, there is Rip in the briar patch, and I know you must be finished because here's your signature.
Quite right.
Salvador Dili.
At your service.
Beautiful.
Leaves in the flowers, birds in the trees, nature's beauty, and things like these. Rivers and mountains, valleys so wide, stars in the heavens, deep blue they hide. Everyday artists, the old and the new, color each day a bright golden hue. Now that we know you, our story begins. Come and be with us, artists and friends. Da 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 dum.